Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Got a video of New Jersey governor who is actually, we're going to get to the thing with the helicopter crash in just 1 second, but I want to show you just how brazen a lot of these people are. I think it's really time for Homan to start actually honing in on these people who are harboring illegal fugitives. Fugitives. New Jersey governor is going to sit there and say on a mainstream thing that, hey, we're harboring this chick above our garage, and I'm like, oh, watch this. This is crazy.
Tammy and I were talking about, I don't want to get into too much detail, but there's someone in our broader universe whose immigration status is not yet at the point that they are trying to get it to. And we said, you know what, let's have her live at our house above our garage. And good luck to the feds coming in to try to get her.
So this is kind of how you know that there's something very strange about this whole accident, quote unquote. That's got me asking a lot of questions. You know, there was a lot of backlash because there was people who were, you know, making accusations about the female pilot. And, you know, it's very questionable, the circumstances of that. They say, oh, well, she's got 425 hours of flight time. And in the back of my mind, I think to myself, well, 425 hours may sound like a lot, but that's only the people who've never really worked. You know, one work week is 40 hours, and 10 hours is 400 hours. So that's, 10 weeks. 10 weeks is only. So in other words, this person's got 10 weeks roughly of flight time. Well, that's real experience. She's top notch. She's one of the best. She's trained. She's professional. There's no, don't you dare say anything about this pilot. And, you know, regardless of what her actual status was, so far as her being hired, what you run into is whenever you hide their identity, you know, you'll release everybody else's identity, but not the female pilot. Now, for whatever reason that might be, you know, they say, oh, the family's grieving, you know, we don't want to release that, you know, and I'm thinking to myself, what about the other families and all that? That's weird. And then, you know, the only person on the aircraft that their whole social media, from everything from LinkedIn to Instagram to TikTok to Tinder has been deleted. You know, what were they talking about? What was their rhetoric? Why didn't we want to nobody see that? So you've got a lot of questions that started becoming a thing, and I don't know that they've released any black box evidence yet. And of course, when they do, they'll be like, well, the black box wasn't working at the time. Just like with that, whenever that stupid FU barge ship took out the Francis Scott Key Bridge, because that guy Francis Scott Key was the one who wrote the Star Spangled Banner. And, you know, now that bridge is going to be renamed to like George Floyd or something like that. Anyway, so that's weird. And so strange how like a barge ship could knock the whole darn bridge down. What's up with that? That's a whole weird thing. Anyways, but so you got 2 airport employees that were arrested for allegedly leaking footage of the DC plane crash to the far left CNN. Like, and it really messed the narrative up. It really made these people have to bend over backwards to be able to kind of like, you know, round up the information, because immediately all the independent content creators were like, whoa, because I shown the video to a coworker of mine, my employee that works here, because he had questions, and I said, well, I've got answers, and we're not Radio Shack, but we'll do the best we can. And you can clearly see that there's a long, very long distance between the time of the impact, where, to me, but I've been in helicopters before, they're pretty maneuverable. You know, it doesn't take a whole lot to actually move 10 feet down or 10 feet up, and, you know, maybe possibly clear whatever you're headed towards. You know, the aircraft, not the case. You know, those things are pretty, you know, steady. Once they're moving, they're like a big ship and hard to turn. But you know, 2 employees of the Metropolitan Washington Airports Authority have been arrested over leaking video of an American Airlines passenger jet. This is what we know all about this, but the Fox 5 DC reported on Monday that a 21-year-old Mohammed Lamain of Rockville, Maryland, was arrested. He sounds like he's not from around here. How dare they arrest that guy? On January 31st, and charged with computer trespass under the Virginia law. That's the dude? Huh. So, pretty wild. So he says the spokesperson said he looked into the Arlington County Adult Detention Center and was later he was booked into and then later released. And authorities can then charge 45-year-old Jonathan Savoy, Upper Marlboro, Maryland, with computer trespass on February 2nd. A magistrate judge later released him on a summons. It's weird. you know, everybody has, like, you know, what if that was like people had footage, you know, because they video on their phone. What are you going to do? Charge those people for videoing? I mean, what are you going to do? It's weird. That's just like, you know, how dare you get information out before we can round up and try to make a narrative, you know? Another question I have, you know, CNN wouldn't, well, I mean, this is a far stretch, but did they pay for this information? Was there money exchanged? Kind of like that dude from January 6th, that guy that totally was like, you know, I'm a Trump supporter, I'll wear my MAGA hat. But the next thing you know, he changes clothes and he sells a bunch of footage from J6 that's very strategic to make it look like it said a certain narrative. I don't know. Maybe not. That's just a far stretch. That's just something to kind of think about. But it's just strange that, you know, basically public information is public information. I mean, what's wrong with, you know, the video? Why would you have a problem with that? Did it mess you guys up? I just wonder. I could go into so many things about why that helicopter didn't move, but that's going to come out later. Thank you for watching. Please hit like, subscribe, and share.